Right, welcome to another episode of Warhammer 40,000. It's Challenger Scorpion, and back by popular demand, Mitch Farrington has returned with a different army here. He'll be using a brand new Orc list, 2,000 points, and they'll be facing off against the Adeptus Mechanicus, fighting across this desert terrain here, bombed out crater, Imperial position, and then a desert village here on this side of the board. But it'll be on this terrain that the Orcs will do battle with the forces of the Adeptus Mechanicus. Right, welcome to this 2,000 points Adeptus Mechanicus versus Orcs challenge game here. So I'm going to be running my new revamped Adeptus Mechanicus army. So it's battle forged, battalion detachments of 6 command points in total, 2 HQs. The Warlord is a Tech Priest Dominus, armed with the relic, the red axe for him, Volkite Blaster as well. And then he's a Necro Mechanic Warlord trait for him, so he'll get +1 on his repair rolls. Then second in command is Belisarius Cawl, he's the second HQ. Then onto troops, there's 5 troops here. 2 of them, 2 units of 5, each of those armed with 2 Transonic Arquebus sniper rifles, and then no other upgrades, so 2 units of 5 just there. 2 units of 8 Rangers, 2 of them armed with arc rifles, and then the Alpha armed with an arc maul and arc pistol. Both of those units the same. And then the final troop's choice is a unit of Vanguard, 3 plasma calivers for them, and then the Alpha has an arc maul and a radium pistol. Then heavy support, 3 separate choices here, 3 Honor Guard Dune Crawlers, all of them armed with Icarus arrays. Then onto elites, a unit of Rust Stalkers armed with Transonic Razors and Cord Claws, unit of 7 Infiltrators armed with Flechette Blasters and Taser Goads. And then finally a Lord of War is an Imperial Knight armed with the Rocket Pod on top, a Reaper Chainsword, a Melter Gun, and the Thermal Cannon. That is 2,000 points here of Ad Mech. They face the Orcs here, a new list and a new army that Mitch Farrington has put together. We'll see what Mitch has brought along. Alright, so Mitch Farrington has come down, back by popular demand here, and he's been working on a brand new Orc army. We'll take a look and see what he has.
Okay, so this is my new Orc army. It's a battalion and a vanguard for 7 command points. In the battalion we have 3 units of 25 Orc boys, each is also led by a knob. For the HQs we have 2 war bosses with power claws and a weird boy. And then for the vanguard there is 2 units of 10 tank busters, each in a truck, a unit of 4 mega knobs in a truck, and they are led by a big mech with a custom force field and a big mech in mega armor with a custom force field. And there is also a knob with a war banner being represented by this storm boy and a pain boy as well. And then heavy support, there are 3 killer cans, each with a rocket launcher.
Alright, so that's the list there that Mitch has put together, looking great. A nice horde of Orc boys, classic Orc style here. Mechanised tank busters, mega knobs, and nice spread of characters, and killer cans featuring as well. So great looking army, looking forward to seeing how well they do in this game. We'll go on to scenario and deployment next. Alright, so the scenario is called Roving Patrol. It's mission number 6 from the Eternal War Missions matched play for Chapter Approved 2017. So, interesting game this one. There's 3 objectives on the board. Orcs are at this end of the table. It's Hammer and Anvil deployment. Orcs will be coming on from here, from this village, moving up in this direction. And Mitch has placed his objective right on the edge of his deployment, expecting to move up aggressively in advance. There's a second objective that's dead centre of the board here, objective number 1. And then the Adeptus Mechanicus, we chose our deployment map, so we've gone at this end here using Hammer and Anvil, and our objective is just anchoring at the back just there. Each objective is worth 3 victory points, and then there's usual points for Slay the Warlord, First Blood, and Line Breaker available as well. So for deployment, each army, or both sides here, have split their army down into 3 parts. One part will be the starting force. That will deploy as usual. The rest goes in reserve. And then at the end of turn 1, the player rolls up, and on 3+, those units arrive on their board edge within 6 inches, and then any units that don't turn up after turn 1, they will automatically arrive at the end of the movement phase on turn 2. So it's sort of an escalation of a fight going on here as the two armies move in to secure these objectives. We'll go on to deployment now, start alternating, placing the units from the starting force for each side on the board. So I've split my army down here. It has to be an equal spread here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, that's group number 1. Then 1, 2, 3, 4, group number 2. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, group number 3. Either of these could start. In fact, we'll roll it up now to see which force starts on the board. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So it's 1 or 2. It's Belisarius Cawl and his units. So this will be the starting force for the Ad Mech. So then for the Orks, they've split down a group of 7 here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then 7 for him. And that is a big mech in Mega Armor, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah, okay, so that's a group of 7 there, all the mechanised together. Then the next group is 1, 2, 3 units of Ork boys, and then 1, 2, 3 HQs. And then the last group is individual killer cans, and then 1, 2, 3 HQs just over there. So we'll let Mitch roll up here. 1 or 2 will be his small force. Then, yep. 3, it's the middle group. So a big blob of Ork boys will start on the board. I think that's a good result, actually. That's going to save a lot of walking or lurching across the table. Mitch will be able to deploy those higher up the board, and then the mechanised units can follow up in their vehicles. I think that's a good result. We'll go on to deployment now, start alternating, placing units on the board. Alright, so deployment done here. Adeptus Mechanicus anchoring the left-hand side. That's where their objective is, just at the back. So Dunecrawler just there. Then Vanguard just here. Belisarius Cawl just between the units. And then the front rank being held by these 2 units of Rangers with their range 30 rifles. Might be able to pick off a few of the Orks as they move up. No Orks around here, but they have clustered on this left-hand flank a huge mob. Perhaps the largest amount of Ork boys we've seen on the channel. There's 90 of them there, plus the HQs in between. A weird boy just there. War Boss, I can see just in there. And then they're all being... That's why they've clustered together. There's a big mech with custom force field there as well. So a bit of an invuln save protecting them. And I take it all of them are in 9 inches. Yeah. Oh yes, so 5+ invuln for the entire lot. So nice bit of protection there. So that's the Ork deployment done. Definitely strong on the left-hand flank. Empty here, but we're expecting most of the Orks, what remains, to turn up on this edge on turn 1. And the same with the Adeptus Mechanicus. Most of their reserves should arrive on at the end of turn 1 as well. So that's deployment done. The initial forces are on the board. We'll roll up later to see which other units arrive. We're ready to go here, turn 1 coming up. I guess all that's left to do is roll up to see who goes first. So it's a roll off. We finished deploying first. Mitch has more units on the board, so we're on +1. There's a 4 and a 4, but the +1 will do it. Do you want us to see his initiative? I imagine he will. It was a 3. Alright, so Ad Mech will go first. We'll try and pick off a couple of these Orks at this initial stage in the game. Turn 1 coming up next. Right, so we're on turn 1 here, Ad Mech preparing to make their move. So Orks distant here, it's all very calm at this stage. Might be able to leisurely take a few pot shots at them here with some long range weaponry, but I'm not sure how long that's going to last as these different units begin to arrive for both sides. We'll see what arrives at the end of the movement phase. So we'll move these units first of all, and then a 3+ for the other units to arrive on the board. Okay, so movement done here. We've adjusted some of the starting force. These have moved up. A couple of rifles will be in range. It's a distance away. See a prize for who can pick off the first orc here on this hunt about to take place. And then Vanguard holding position. Belisarius Cawl's just shifted across the barricade here. And then Dunecrawler, this one's remained where it is. Then this one's come on. I've just shifted it back. It's meant to be 6 inches. You're allowed to arrive, but you've got to keep within 6 inches of the board edge. So Dunecrawler here, sniper teams turned up, the Rush Stalkers, and then the Knight arrived just here. But then infiltrating, I'm allowed to teleport in with the infiltrators just there. They've turned up behind that great monolith statue over there. Then units that haven't arrived, unit snipers, didn't roll high enough for them, and then also a Dunecrawler hasn't turned up this turn. They're guaranteed to arrive at the end of the movement phase in turn 2. So most of the force has arrived now for the Ad Mech, which is good, especially having the Knight on the board and most of the infantry, so looking in good shape as the army begins to move across the board. So holding on to this objective pretty secure, but in order to win the game, Ad Mech are going to need to try and seize either of these two as well. So it's not just about holding your own objective. You're going to have to try and claim and fight for the middle ground as well. Movement's done. No psychic phase. We're going to shooting phase. Might be a little bit here. We'll see what we can do. Right, so onto the shooting phase here. Onagar Dunecrawler, we'll start with him. He's going to fight all the way across. He is within range 48 of the closest unit of Orc boys, just there. So I think, knowing what Orcs are like, every boy that's killed at this stage will help later when things get messy, I think is the philosophy. So we'll fire this one here. So -1 to hit because it's firing at a ground target. So we'll go with the Daedalus missile launch here. Belisarius Cawl will mean reroll 1s. I'll reroll dice entirely. So we've got a hit. We've failed to wound, and we'll leave it at that. 5 shots with the Gatling rocket launcher. Reroll these 2. Okay, and then 3s to wound, strength 6. Really struggling here to wound. 1 does get through. Mitch will use 5+ invuln save. Okay, so 1 Orc boy killed.
Closest unit?
Yes, yeah, so any model that you want from there. Alright, so 1 casualty taken. We'll go for now the autocannons. 4 shots, 2 hits, rerolls, another hit. Still 3s to wound, strength 7. Now 3 wounds come through. Alright, so 3 invuln saves here, 5+. Just gradually try and whittle these down. Okay, so 3 more brought down. Just there. They'll be fine for morale. They can use the value or the size of the unit for their morale. So they'll be leadership 20 something, yes. So they'll be fine. Alright, so not bad there from the Dunecrawler. Starting to pick off a couple of models. We'll see how many of these rifles can fire. Alright, so 5 rifles are in range. This unit not quite in range, so 5 shots. Galvanic rifles here. I've strung them out so that we're in range of Belisarius Cawl, so they can reroll these. So they all hit here. Excellent marksmanship here from the Rangers. And that's at -1. It's not going to matter. Mitch will take invuln saves here of 5+ with 2, which he fouls both of those. Another 2 Orc boys gone. So morale's not going to be an issue, but gradually starting to thin down this Orc boy blob just over there. That's the last of the shooting. The Dunecrawler here out of range. The snipers moved. They'll not be able to shoot even though they're range 60, and the Knight is out of range as well. So that's the end of the shooting phase. Not bad. Pretty good. A couple of boys been picked off here. No assaults, no charges. Turn 1 finished. So the initial move has been made by the Ad Mech. We can see their strength here on this left-hand flank. We'll go on now to the Orcs. Mitch has his big blob to move, and then also a load of reserves to bring on as well. We're going to turn 1 now for the Orcs, coming up next. Alright, so Mitch on the move here. This is the target. Well, we'll see if he can make it all the way to the back. It's a long slog, so a lot of figure moving to do here, but it's his own fault for, for collecting orcs and choosing to paint up 90 orc boys, so it's a bit of a punishment for him here at the moment. But he's rolled well. The first unit of orc boys, he's rolled a 6 for their advance, 11 inches moving up the board, and they will actually be able to charge if they keep the war boss nearby, so that's helpful enough. They're starting to move around the left-hand side, flowing around this large structure here. Remember, there's infiltrators just on the other side of that ruin, and he reckons a 9-10 inch charge may well get them in, so we may well see an early charge go off here. There's the damage unit of orc boys, still strong though to move. One's at the back, and these characters. Then once that movement's finished, Mitch can start rolling up to see what other units arrive from reserve. There's an interesting scenario. It means a sort of a quieter turn 1, which makes a difference than usual in 8th edition. Usually the game's over by turn 2 or turn 3. We've seen that happen a number of times, but this is more of a leisurely build up here to this one, which is nice. Nice to see the game build up here and the different units manoeuvre around the table. Something different here in this game. So I'm starting to get the impression of one unit going around the right hand flank, one coming on the left. It's just the horns of the buffalo starting to form here from some film that I remember watching years ago.
Two more from that.
Now, we've talked to Mitch about a possible apocalypse in the future with these orcs, so we may well see something like that happen. Another orc player here that we could call upon to join in a great war across the galaxy somewhere, so may well keep a look out for that in the future. So it'll be great one day to see the orcs in the apocalypse game. For large point size, it'd be great. Maybe wait till the codex comes along, would be a good idea. It is similar to Zulu, or the second film that came out, Islandwana. Zulu Dawn, yeah, because the orcs flowing around here, and then this thin red line is starting to string out in rapid reaction to them, and it all starts off calmly, and then it gets more and more tense as the Zulus, or the orcs in this case, close in for the kill, and then the Reds get massacred. We'll see if history repeats itself, whether there's a reflection of history here in 40k, but Mitch moving up quick enough. He's complaining he has to move so far with Hammer and Anvil, but these orcs are moving quick enough, lumbering along on foot. He's just spreading out. He's preparing to make a move in the psychic phase as well with the jump to try and leapfrog one of these orc blobs even further up the board as well. So the orcs could be in amongst the Ad Mech very quickly indeed. So movement done here. We'll just cover this. So orc boys moving up and advancing here. Then the big mech there with the custom force field moving up. Orc boys here. I think these are getting ready to jump. It'll be this unit at the back. Then moving around on the left-hand flank with these. Yeah, Mitch keeping these within the war boss. They will be able to advance. And then a possible charge from them across here. It is some distance, but there's a chance it could go ahead here. And then Mitch is going to roll up now to see what units start to arrive at the back. There's something graceful about lots of orc boys moving up. They're quite a sight on the table. It's great to see this many being used in one of our games. All right, so units that have come on here, Mitch rolling some well, a fair number have stayed off the board here, but these have turned up. 1 Killican's arrived, the Pain Boy, the Wear Banner. Inside here is Meganobs, and they've been joined by the Big Mech in Mega Armor as well, and then a unit of Tank Busters. So that means that 1 unit of Tank Busters has yet to arrive, this unit here, and then also 2 Killicans and 1 of the Knobs still hasn't arrived yet, but they're guaranteed to arrive next turn. Okay, so movement done. We're going to Psychic Phase next. This is pretty important here, because I think Mitch wants to use the jump to try and move one of these Orc Boy units ahead. And if he gets one of these in here and distracts the Ad Mech, then it will allow the rest of his force to move up without as much harassment from firepower. We'll see if he's able to make this work here. Okay, so Psychic Phase done. As you can see here, the jump has been successful. So the unit at the back here has jumped across, and then they're just over 9 inches away from these 2 units here. So all of a sudden, we thought we had a nice leisurely opportunity to fire these galvanic rifles, and all of a sudden the orcs are just over 9 inches away. Potential to charge and potential to shoot as well if Mitch wants to fire their sluggers as well. So that is Psychic Phase finished. No other power in range to use. What's the powers you have? To jump, smite, and anyone you can only take one. Yeah. Oh, is it? Right, okay. So that's Psychic Phase finished. We've gone to Shooting Phase, possibly. We'll see what Mitch decides to do. Right, so Shooting Phase is finished. Mitch has elected not to shoot because he knows that if I take casualties, I'll start removing them from the front. He'd rather get the charge in than fire. with the pistols. So with shooting phase finished, we'll go on to assaults. You're declaring a charge against both of these targets.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. They're all equal distance away, just over 9. So we'll let Mitch roll because we're not going to overwatch and destroy all of them. So we know the charge is going to go ahead. So against this unit here, yeah. Right, he's rolled a 6, a 5 and a 1. So you can either re-roll the whole charge or you can use a command point to re-roll that 1. In which case you would need a 4. It's half a chance of it going in.
Yeah, I'll do that. So I'll just re-roll the 1.
Okay, so this is a command point being used here. It does, right, charge has been made. Oh, great.
And the second unit?
Then regardless of what happens, he'll make contact with these. If he makes contact with one, he can pile in against the other. But anyway, see if he can make the charge anyway against... Oh, no, you don't roll twice, do you? That's it. That's your straight charge distance. Yes, I believe so.
All right, so I'm in then.
So 9 and 9. Yeah, you've done it. So you have reached both. Right, so a bit of panicky Overwatch now to do from these 2 units of Rangers. They've been caught out. Shame here. I was looking forward to a nice bit of Orc hunting here, but they've been caught out with an Orc charge. Good tactics being used by the Orcs here. Okay, so charges have taken place here. A couple of casualties from Overwatch, not getting the rerolls to hit, because it's only in the shooting phase for Belisarius Cawl and his special powers. Just 2 brought down. It's nowhere near enough here, so we've got a bit of an Islandwana situation here with the Redcoats about to be overrun here by the Orcs. Excellent play here on turn 1. The game's livened up all of a sudden. But around the other side, Mitch attempted to charge. He re-rolled for Here We Go, but failed to reach in combat. It was a long distance, needing a 9 on the score, and the infiltrators have not been contacted just there. So we'll go on to combats next. We'll roll up here and watch this massacre of the Redcoats take place. All right, so we're talking about a lot of films here. It's about a fistful of dollars. Mitch has a fistful of dice here, or 2 handfuls. Right, so this is just the attacks against this unit here. This is the Nob in here and about 12 Orc boys. He's getting 2 attack space, 1 for the chopper and an extra 1 for the size of the unit as well. So roll up your first lot here. Dear me. 3s to hit. She's just taking all his hits here. We'll just give him a while.
Freeze as well?
Yep, freeze to wind. Yep. I don't think we're going to survive this. I could be wrong, but even with that, morale's just going to be... So we're looking at 2 possible wipeouts here. Yep. There's a load of wounds coming through. Just the law of averages starts to take over here. That was a wound, yeah. Yep. Okay, so that's all the dice. See if we can condense 2 fistfuls down into 1. Yep, okay. So 4 up saves. No, they're gone. Long gone. So first blood picked up here. This unit destroyed. Is it even worth rolling the dice for this one? We'll let Mitch re-roll the whole lot again for this unit here.
There's no to do that.
All right, so we are on 3+ to hit with the next slot.
That looks better than the last one.
There's loads of hits coming through here. 3s to wound. I think we're in big trouble. So I'll let Mitch pick up all these wounds here. But again, it's just going to be roughly the same amount of saves to make. Thank you. So roll up here. No, they're gone as well. Look at that. A ton of failures just there. So they're gone as well. 2 units deleted here by the Orcs. So initial complaints at the start of the game about hammer and anvil for the Orcs and lots of movement to do. And now look what's happened. Complete change around here. Orcs all over the Adeptus Mechanicus. Great result. You're allowed to make a consolidation move as well. It's another 3 inches closer to the Ad Mech. So remove these models from play, and that'll be the end of the turn. Okay, so consolidation moved. The Orc line lurches ahead here. So it is the horns of the buffalo here. This is the right-hand side. There's the loins there, the middle part, and then the left-hand horn moving around this flank here. What on earth do the Adeptus Mechanicus do now? Time's rushing on here. The Orcs are moving up the table. They seem unstoppable at this stage, and they've just deleted 2 of my infantry units very quickly indeed. They're butchering the infantry here. The closest model to them now is Belisarius Cawl, looking ahead, watching the Redcoats being overrun. What does he do now? We're going to the second turn now for the Adeptus Mechanicus. The rest of their reserves will arrive. They need to pull themselves together. and come up with some kind of plan to deal with the Orks here. They'd need to cause a lot of casualties, otherwise the Orks would be upon them again. This unit's right here, and then if it all goes to plan, Mitch will use that to jump special power to send in another wave here as well against the Ad Mech. So need to come up with some kind of decent plan here in response. We'll go on to the second turn now, the Adeptus Mechanicus. Contemplating what to do. We've got to try and think ahead here, knowing that the Orks are going to be jumping up and moving quickly, and we're losing units at a rapid rate here, so countermeasures need to be taken. There's this unit to deal with, but also got to consider these other units moving up as well. They're here at the moment, but there's movement advancing for them, plus also possibility of a jump move coming in. It's a bit of a panic going on with the Ad Mech at the moment, but we just need to pull ourselves together, remain calm, and then see how many Ork boys we can bring down. There's a time gap here because Mitch has other units all at the back. There's some movement that needs to be done by them. These will be quick enough, going 12 and advancing. The killer cans will be slower, but there's an opportunity for the Ad Mech to try and take on some of the Ork units that are further ahead, whilst the others try and catch up. Alright, so movement phase complete here for the Ad Mech, trying to hold the Orks back as much as they can. So we have gone aggressive here with the infiltrators. They've moved 8 inches across, preparing to shoot and charge with their flechette blasters and taser goads. Then around here, the focus is to deal with all of these Ork boys, a lot of them to bring down, but we have the Knight. He's gone forwards 12 inches. Belisarius Cawl's going to get into the fight here. He's lurched ahead as well. And then the unit of Vanguard moving ahead just here to lay down some fire support. Then Ruststalker's moving ahead. They've advanced, they'll not be able to charge, but they're moving up rapidly. And then this one's just come on from reserve. Snipers have joined the other unit of snipers, so they've moved on. And then the 2 Drone Crawlers, this one's held position, this one's moved up there to lay down some fire as well. So that is movement done. We'll go on to shooting phase next for the Ad Mech on turn 2. Okay, so we're going to start shooting phase here with the infiltrators. 35 shots from these, 5 shots each with their pistols. Going to play 2 stratagems. Protect a Doctrine Imperative, that'll give them +1 to hit. And then Wrath of Mars as well. Any 6s to wound will be mortal wounds as well as the regular damage. Alright, so 35 shots, needing 2s to hit with the help of the stratagem. 1's dropped. I'll just reroll this 1. That's got a hit, so we'll just take away all the misses, which is a couple. Most of them have gone through. Now 6s will really help. Be 5s to wound, 6s will be good. So a nice lot have got through there, just a few misses. So we're on 5s to wound, 6s are good. So yeah, there's some mortal wounds coming through. There's 5, 6, 7, and then there's some 5s here, and the rest have failed. That's not a bad result. So there's those to save at 6+, just for the t-shirt save that they come with.
Oh.
None. Alright, so that's 7 and 7. 14 brought down, and then there's those to save there as well.
The whole unit?
14, and then 6 to save those as well. So 14 and 6, 22.
21.
21 brought down. Alright, so they've virtually wiped out the unit there with that firepower. So they're a unit that's okay, but with a little bit of help from some stratagems there, especially that Wrath of Mars, that's the kind of damage they can do. And that's just 7 of them. You can take 10 of those. But they've done a good job there, hiding behind here, jumping out, and then ambushing this unit of Ork boys, bring a lot of them down. So that's the shooting done on this side. Well done to the infiltrators. Good work from them. We'll see how the shooting goes now on this flank. Alright, so we'll start firing down here. The Vanguard are going to fire. We're just going to fire regular shots. We're not going to supercharge with these. So 6 shots from the Plasma Calivers. We can re-roll our shooting with Belisarius Cawl nearby. Do miss though with 2 of them. And 3s to kill 2. Alright, so 2 of the Ork boys from here brought down. Then a radium pistol and radium carbines. Next coming through. Get a lot of misses here. That was a hit that and that. And those have missed. I think one of those was a miss now. I'm just going to reroll this one. That's a miss, so we'll just take that away. 5s to wound with these. And it's strength 3. So Mitch needs to make 5 saves here. He does get a 6-up save. Let's try and protect some of these Ork boys. Does block 2. Alright, so 3 more Ork boys brought down. Right, we'll fight him next, see if we can atomize a few of these Orks. D3 shots. Get 2. 2s to hit. And 2s for a kill. This is strength 10. Yeah, 6 and 5. So 2 more Ork boys brought down. I'm going to fire the 2 units of snipers through here. One of them, the transonic arquebus weapons moves, they're not shoot. But the rest of the galvanic rifles can fire. So that's galvanic rifles from both. Going to give Mitch obscurity here, so he'll be on +1 to his cover save. Or +1 to his save. 3s to hit, they all hit. 4s to wound. There's a 6. That one will be a 6-up save for -1. Oh. And then 4 more saves of 5+ here as well, with the benefit of cover. Blocks 2. Alright, so 2 more Ork boys brought down. Volkite Blaster here, actually, from the Tech Priest Dominus. That's heavy 3. He did move, so we're on 3s to hit. We can re-roll that one. So do get the hits. 3s to wound. Yeah, 2 wounds to get through. There. It's obscurity again, so 5 up to block these. There's no minus on the AP. That was just 2 to roll, but it's fouled all 3 anyway, so 2 of them are gone. Just there, okay. So we've got a Dune Crawler at the back. We'll level the guns and try and pick off some more Orks here. So the Daedalus missile launcher gets his hit and fails to wound. And then we'll go for Gatling rocket launcher. It's 4s to hit, and there's no reroll 1s there. They'll wound, and it's -2, so that's 3 Ork boys brought down. And then the autocannon here, they all hit. They all wound except 1, and that's 3 saves of 6+. No, alright, so 6 more brought down there. Alright, so we've got these 2 here. They're going to direct their attention over against this blob of Ork boys just over here. I think they're within 9, so there will be an invuln save protecting these for Mitch. So we'll link them together. May as well, because they're going to go after the same target and they're not going to wipe it out. So 5, 6, 7, 8. We'll go autocannons. And these are on reroll 1s here for the Tech Priest Dominus. It's 4s we need, so those have missed. 3s to wound. Yes, 3 invuln saves of 5+. Okay, so blocks 1, so 2 boys gone. We'll go for 2 Daedalus missile launcher shots. 1 hit, 1 wound, and again another invuln save here, and that's the Gatling rocket launcher next. Doesn't block that one, so another 1 gone. And then now Gatling rocket launchers, reroll those 2 1s. 3s to wound, Yeah, 5. 5 invuln saves of 5+. Block 2, so another 3. Okay, so Imperial Knight now fire. The rocket pod is within range 48 all the way across there. We're going to fire against the truck just there with the tank busters. And then the melter gun and the thermal cannon is going to pick on these orcs. A bit of overkill, but we'll try and pick them off. So 3+ here with the melter. And the wound comes through, so that's one orc boy brought down. D6 shots with the thermal cannon. It is 6 shots, needing 3s. And then it will be 2s. 1 survives in total. 3 killed from that, 1 from the melter. Right, so that's that done. We've got the rocket pod on top. It's 3 shots trying to hit this truck. So 3s, they've all hit. Be 3s to wound. 2 get through. It'll be 6 up save to try and block these. It's -2 on the damage. 2 6s needed. Blocks 1. And it's D6 damage and there's a ramshackle. So 4 damage, and if Mitch rolls a 6 hit, which he does, it drops it down to 1. So the rockets hit a panel and then blasts out the other side, just causing 1 wound in total on the orc truck. Okay, so shooting phase complete here. The firepower's come through and pretty effective here against these orc boys, wiping them out to just the knob left. And then we saw the attack coming through from the infiltrators as well, saving the flank pretty much for the Ad Mech here as well. That shooting phase finished. We're going to assaults. We may try and charge down here. We'll see what kind of distance we need to get into combat. Or do we hold back and try and take shelter from behind the ruin? We'll see. Whether to try and preserve and keep the infiltrators alive. We'll go on to assaults and Overwatch next. Alright, so attempted charge down here, no damage on Overwatch, and we failed to make that distance. 9 inches was required. The infiltrators have failed to make it in. But that's the end of the turn. We've not got any other charges here. We've decided just to leave the Orc Knob just here. We'll just resolve some morale. I don't think there's even any need to roll here, Mitch. I think he's just removed, isn't he?
Yeah, he just dies. He can't survive.
Yeah, okay. So he's gone. And then there is also morale at the other side to do as well for the unit that was hit by the infiltrators. Right, so breaking heads used here. 2 of these brought down by the war boss just here. And then that's enough to keep them alive. There's just 2 of them left and the knob there. That's the end of the turn. Morale's been resolved. Orcs have taken a hit here by Ad Mech firepower and the ambush from the infiltrators, blunting the orc attack. We'll see what Mitch decides to do next. Difficult situation. There's a distance now between the 2 armies. I think he's going to switch tactics and going to try and hoard up on the middle objective. If he does that and survives through to the end of the game, he will win. It's all about the objectives here in this game. Ad Mech looking strong on their objective. The orc objective over here pretty strong. It's all about this central objective here. We'll go on to the second turn now for the orcs. Right, so on the second turn here for the Orcs, a major switch in tactics here. Mitch has changed plan and is heading towards the rear objective just here. It's this objective he wants to protect, and he's going to hold back with most of his gear out of range of a lot of the Ad Mech units. Going to try and preserve his force for as many turns as he can, and then try and move up later on to try and grab these two objectives, especially this one in the middle in the later stages of the game, and then try and cling on for victory. He reckons if he goes all out here and gradually brings units in, they'll be blown away. So the idea is to hold back, stay alive, and then move on to the objectives in the later part of the battle. It's a good tactic, probably the best tactic I think available here. Ork boys beginning to move back. Whoa, major shift here in tactics taking place. It is a difficult situation. The Orks, their nature is to plough on ahead, and Mitch is itching to do that, but just it doesn't seem to be the wisest idea. 2 units of Ork boys blown away. A weakened unit here left. Doesn't stand much chance on its own against these units here. Without support, doesn't seem any point in doing it. So Mitch going to hold back, falling back here with the characters and the Ork boys, and then amassing his troops here at the back. So tank busters, mega knobs available, killer cans, plenty of firepower available from this section of his army. I mean, thinking about it, you've lost Ork boys, but they're cheap units. The main value is still in the Ork force here. So Mitch is going to try and converge his army together and hold back. And at the moment, he's out of range of most of the Skitarii units. Really, the only units they're going to be able to reach now is the Dune Crawlers if they move up a bit further, the Knight if he continues to advance, and then perhaps the Snipers as well here at the back. We'll be able to get some shots in at range 60. So, movement all done? Looks pretty good.
Yeah,
So there's a 5+ inv here, then at the Pain Boy as well, so there's a bit of protection here for these units to try and help them weather any incoming fire. We'll go on to Psychic Phase next for the Orks on their second turn. So the jump's gone off, and the Ork boys are on the move. They're going around behind here. So really, your losses is 2 units of Ork boys, large units gone. But other than that, the rest of the force remains behind, and a major shift in tactics. I've not really seen this before from Orks. Mitch deciding to go defensive for now, and then to surge ahead in later turns. So we've got a no man's land here, standoff between these two armies occurring at the moment. Choices now for the Ad Mech to make. Do they pursue the Orks, or do they hold back? Choices to make here. Major shift in plan. We're getting ready to form a defensive line, awaiting this Ork assault, but Orks have shifted tactics here. We'll go on to shooting phase next. So we're on shooting phase here. Custom shooter. 2 hits, 2 wounds. 4 up save, 3 up save for the cover through there. So 3 up save, passing both there with the infiltrators. So that's shooting phase finished. That's just the custom shooter coming from the war boss. Yeah. Okay, and that's it. Everything else out of range here. The tank busters, range 24, just falling short of the infiltrators just over there. So shooting phase done. No assaults, no charges. So that is the end of the second turn here for the Orks. Will their change of plan work? We'll see. And how will the Ad Mech respond now to this new tactic being used? We'll go on to the third turn now of the Adeptus Mechanicus. Alright, so movement complete here for the Adeptus Mechanicus. The Vanguard moving up, going to take shelter behind this building here. You can see the Dune Crawlers starting to link together. Belisarius Cawl falling back a few inches just to grant the rerolls to hits with them. We've rolled 1 inch for advance move here with the Ruststalkers, and the Knight's gone about 7 inches, just moving up behind this burnt out Rhino here, getting ready to move on to the objective just there, and then the Sniper's holding position, anchoring the objective at the back. Tech Priest Dominus just shifting across to here. That's movement done. Just keeping all the units together and getting ready to try and fire and soften up the Orks as much as possible with the longest ranged weapons that we have. So movement done. We'll go on to shooting phase next for the Ad Mech on turn 3. Right, so I'm going to start the shooting phase here. Reckon I'm going to try and go after what's left of the Ork boys here, and then start hitting characters if they're closest models. So that's the plan. So the Dune Crawlers, again, level their guns. There's no flying targets that they can shoot at. But useful here in this game, the multiple shots coming from them may well be able to cause some trouble here for these Ork infantry units. So this one here is going to shoot first. It has to fire at the Ork boys. They're the closest target. Can't pick on the characters yet. So auto cannon. Needing 4s for reroll for Belisarius Cawl nearby. 3s to wound. Yeah, it's 2 wounds, 2 invuln saves here, 5+. I should try and protect these. And no, okay. So
Picks up fill no pains as well.
Oh yeah, 2 at a time. So the first 2, this is damage 2, you see. So no, and then a double 6 needed to protect. The last one, no. Okay, so 2 Ork boys gone. Gatling rocket launcher next. And then rerolls. All wounded. So invuln saves to make here, 4 of them, 5+. It's only 1 damage, so you will get a chance with the 6s then with the pain boy. No, okay, 4. That's the... Oh, long gone, yeah. So your boy's gone. Just characters now. Closest character now is the Big Mech, yeah, with the custom force field. So we're going to fire everything at him with this guy, the Dune Crawler. So a diaderless rocket comes hurtling towards him, a plumb hit, and not a wound. Nope, it's 3+ for a wound. Gatling rocket launcher, need 4s, reroll for Belisarius Cawl, and then freeze to wound. 2 wounds, 2 saves of 5+,
Nope.
and they're 1 damage, so 6s to block this with the pain boy. That's a cock dice, yeah, does 1. Okay, so 1 wound caused so far. Auto cannons, these could cause trouble. They've all hit apart from 1. They've all hit. They've all wounded. So 5 up to block these. Does block 2. And then so 2 get through. The first, these are 2 damage. The first one,
Nope.
No. And then the second one, double 6. Well done. So just 2 wounds added to him. The Big Mech is still alive. Okay, so we'll fire the next one, and we'll go after the same target. There's a lot of firepower being directed to try and bring him down. This defiant Big Mech here. So 4s. Just re-rolling. 3s to wound. Just the 1 wound comes through. 5 up invuln save, no, and a 6 up, just 1 damage. No, I think that could be him yet, so he's gone, and the rest of the firepower's negated now. The target's been destroyed, so the Big Mech has gone. Okay, so the Imperial Knight's going to fire next. The thermal cannon is in range. The closest model is the War Boss, so the Weird Boy is safe for now, and then the rocket pod on top, nicely in range here. We'll go after this truck here with the tank busters. Same target, the one that survived last time. So 3 shots here with the rocket pod. Oh, deadly firepower. Freeze to wound. Just the 1 wound comes through. -2, so a 6 up save.
Oh.
And then we'll roll our damage, d6. So 4.
Okay.
So needing a 6 hit for Ramshackle. No, so 4 wounds taken on the truck. Just here, so it's 9 down to 5. Next is the thermal cannon, taking on this Orc War Boss here. Just the 1 shot. And it's missed. Okay, so that's that done. Alright, and that marks the end of the shooting here. There's snipers at the back, but there's so much obscurity here with units in the way and obstacles, and they've got no line of sight. But they're there at the back anchoring the objective. Just to mention, didn't cover the movement there for the infiltrators. They've just moved further behind the structure just there, hidden away at the back. That is shooting phase finished. Obviously no charges to take place. Ad Mech then steadily advancing and laying down some firepower, causing trouble here for the Orcs. Orc boys gone, and the Big Mech gone as well, but still some characters remain, and a sizable chunk of this Orc force still in pretty good shape here at the back as well. What does Mitch do now? Here, he's right at the back edge. Does he attack now or hold off for another turn? We'll see. We'll hand over to the Orcs now, going on to their 3rd turn next. Alright, so movement complete here for the Orcs on their 3rd turn. They have lurched ahead. They couldn't hold back any further. It's entirely against their nature, and so Mitch has surged them ahead. So advanced moves being made here. Killer Cans making advanced moves as well. Characters at the back. It's quite a strong blob here now. Orcs going in for the 2nd wave attack now. So we've seen Orc boys. Now it's mechanised Orcs beginning their advance here. So they're almost on their own objective, and then they're heading after the objective in the middle of the table. Orc boys are still going to hold back here with the Weird Boy just there. So that's movement done. We'll measure up some ranges and see if there's any shooting. Or any, you're going to use psychic powers this turn? No, we're going to hold off. Okay. So we'll be shooting. We'll go on to the shooting phase next. Yeah, shooting phase. Range 24 is the maximum range. The shots sort of land about here. So at this stage, there's no firepower available. And that is the end of the turns. No assaults to take place either. and no morale to do, so the turn has finished. Not too much to do as the Orks concentrating on manoeuvring here at this stage. We'll go now on to, it's like we're going on to a fresh game. The game's entirely reset itself. We've seen the Ork boys, the damage that they caused, wiping out those units, and they were destroyed in return. And then now we're back to square one again, and a fresh battle is about to take place. So we'll go on to the 4th turn now for the Adeptus Mechanicus next. Right, so movement for the Ad Mech here, and not being sucked in against the Orks. We're just talking about, it's like a big blob here, sort of Death Star blob. There's loads of stuff going on here inside this cluster of mechanised Orks moving up. I think the Ad Mech will be foolhardy just to advance towards them, presuming that they are in control of this game. There's a lot of power here in this Ork force, loads of tank buster shots available, and supporting fire available also from the tank busters, from the killer cans as well. So, in reaction, we've pulled back here, just lining up the Dune Crawlers, getting ready to level the guns and fire again. And the Knight's actually pulled back from his position here, within range 36 of this truck, but just means that Mitch would be out of range, or would have to advance to try and get his shots in, just trying to limit the damage potentially that could come through. Ruststalkers have moved through here, rolling a 5 for their advance move. Infiltrators just over there have shifted further along towards their right-hand flank, but still hidden behind the construction, the building. Snipers holding position. Belisarius Cawl here, just there, within 6 inches of all of these. Dune Crawlers, Tech Priest Dominus just there, and then holding position here with these Vanguard. So, movement done. Ad Mech just trusting the wisdom here of Belisarius Cawl, who's been in many a fight before, and so encouraging his forces just to hold back for now, try and soften up the Orks as much as possible. It is cold, it's calculating, but that's typical Ad Mech here. That's their approach to war. We'll go on to their shooting phase next. Litany of the Electromancer, by the way, an incantation of the Iron Soul for Canticles, so reroll morale is available for the Ad Mech on this turn. So we'll go on to shooting phase next. So we'll start with the Knight. The thermal cannon, I've lined it up so it's just in range of the damaged truck just here on 5 wounds that will fire at that. And then the rocket pod of a longer range will go after the truck on the far side just there. So D6 shots with the thermal cannon. 2. 3s to hit. 2 hits do come through. 3s to wound. Double 5. And it's tons of minuses, so we're just going to go straight onto invuln saves.
Nope.
No, because the Big Mac's inside the other truck. Okay. So D6 then. So we'll roll up our damage. So try and block that one on a 6. No, and then block this one on a 6.
I don't know where that went.
Dice has been lost here. I'm just going to roll again, and it's a 1. All right. So.
Use a command point to try and reroll that one.
Okay.
Yep.
No, it's a 5 in total. I see why I was using the command point there, because that has resulted in that truck being destroyed. We'll let Mitch roll up to see if it explodes. No, it doesn't. All right. All right, so truck destroyed. We're keeping the model on the board. We can remove that there for movement if we need to, or for line of sight. But tank busters deploying just here. They may well attract some attention here from Ad Mech firepower. We'll go on to the rest of the shooting. Here we've got the rocket pod actually to do. Storm Spear rocket pod in 3s. 1 hit and 1 wound. It's -2, so Mitch will get a 6-up save. It's this truck here. Nope, and it's damage a D6. There's a 6, ouch. And oh, he blocks it with a ramshackle, well done. Once again, another rocket round that goes straight through a panel here and out the other side. So just 1 wound taken on the end truck. This one.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, that one there. Yeah, that one's taken the damage. I'm going to fire a couple of snipers at the back. 2 of them can see. We've lined it up here. They can see the models just here. So they need 3s. 2 hits. 1 wound. And I don't, it's going to be -2, so just be 1 killed. Yeah, so one of those gone. Sniper picks off one of those. So finally the snipers get to fire. We'll go on to the Dune Crawlers next. So the guns level again. We'll fire this end one at the tank busters. It is a high priority to get rid of those. So we'll go Gatling rocket launcher first of all. In 4s. And then we'll be on 3s. Just the 1. It's -2, so it's just a straight up casualty there with no save.
No save.
Yeah. The dialerless rocket launcher does get a hit on a 6. Does wound, and that's a -3, so that's another one gone. And then the autocannon. Just the one hit. And one wound, it's -1, so it's going to be a kill as well. Fire the second Dream Crawl at the same target. Just picking on these tank busters here. 4s for hits. 3s for wounds. Yeah, 3 wounds. -1, so that's going to go straight in.
That's confusing.
Okay.
What about him?
Yeah, no, just at the back here. The pain boys at the back here within 6 inches. So we put one of the models back. We calculated the damage and the hits that came through, and returned one of the tank busters to the board. So continue on the shooting then with the second Dream Crawler. This is the dialerless shot. Gets its hit and does a wound. And so Mitch will... There's no save, so we'll just roll the damage. Just the one, so you could try and block this on a 6. No. Okay, so the pain boy doesn't help there. And then autocannons. Need 4s. Yeah, the hit's coming through. 3s to wound. 3 wounds. They're damaged 2 a time, so double 6 is looking for... Oh, close. No. And then...
Nope.
No, not quite. So they're gone. That's the wipeout. So destroyed. Just there. Just ganging up here with this firepower, picking off these Ork targets. So we'll go on to the final Dream Crawler, this one here. Fight the truck at the end. The other tank buster unit just there. So dialerless missile launcher. Hits. Strength 7 to be 3s to wound. No. We'll then go for the autocannons. And then 3s to wound again. Yes, 2 wounds to get through. It's -1, so Mitch will get a 5-up save.
Made one of them.
And made one of them. And then he can ramshackle. 1 dice needing a 6.
Nope.
No, right, so just 2 damage taken. Just there. And then the last shooting is a Gatling. Rocket launcher. All hit. Be 4s to wound. Yeah, 4 saves. It's -2, so 6s. 1 6, and straight 3 wounds in total. There, so down to...
It's taken 6 so far.
Okay. Okay, and with the end of that, we've got 4 wounds left now of this truck, so it's still mobile. The one in the middle of the Mega Knobs is still alive. But losing tank busters there, it's going to hurt. It needs that firepower to take on the vehicles here. That is the end of the turn. There's no assaults or charges to take place. Still this awkward distance here between the Orks and the Ad Mech. Mitch will continue to try and close that down as much as he can. The whole aim is to secure his own objective and try and contest the centre of the board. Ad Mech desperate to try and soften up the Orks as much as they can. So we'll go on to the 4th turn now for the Orks. We'll see if Mitch, he must continue his advance here. So we'll see how much ground they can cover as they move. Alright, so movement here for the Orks, pressing ahead with their attack, leaving the wreck just there and marching on. So Ork Boy's holding here with the Weird Boy, and then characters anchoring at the back. So well and truly securing this objective, and now securing the central objective. So Orks are now actually winning the game, tactically speaking at this stage. It's turn 4, time marches on here. Ad Mech may be prevailing with their firepower. They need to be careful. There's still a lot of Ork stuff to chew through, and disembarking here with the big mech in mega armor. Now a 5+ shield, a 5+ invuln save here granted with this bubble shield that's being generated by the custom force field. Killer cans marching up as well. I think the Ad Mech need to be careful at this stage. The Orks are converging on the objective and may well be hard to shift. And if we hold back too far, a mad rush at the end for combat could come too late. So the game's back on here in this second phase. Movement complete then. Units moving up. Remember, tank busters still inside here. These have all made advanced moves. It will be -1 on their shooting, but still a chance to start firing now. Mitch, so far in this game, has only fired a custom shooter. So we'll be looking forward to letting rip with some Ork firepower. We're on shooting phase here, just a slight readjustment of movement. We've just let Mitch finish off there with the killer can moving on to the objective and then just rearranging the characters just there on that flank. Alright, so movement is done. Shooting phase then, here we go. There's a chance now to fire. Plenty of targets now in range 24. That's the joy of having the transports here, able to move around the table pretty quick. So we'll let Mitch roll up for some firepower next. So he's going to fire the tank busters here. There's 10 shots in 6s. He's going to fire at the knight, and he's going to play Dakka stratagem. So any 6s will generate further shots.
So I've got 1 extra.
Yes.
I got this is the rerolls.
Yep.
Another 1, and then the 1 extra with rerolls. Yep.
He's generated another hit. All right. Yeah, he's got an extra shot here, just thanks to the reroll, and you get to reroll it. No, all right. So it is 3. It'll be forced to wound. No, toughness 8. This is the difficulty here against the knight. And he's got 1s come through. We didn't activate iron shields for.
I'll use a command point to reroll 1 of those.
Okay, 4 up, 2. Well done. Okay, so 2 come through. 5 up invuln save. No, and all of a sudden 6 damage comes through against the knight. All right, so 18 wounds left here on the Imperial Knight. It's a good start, pretty good firepower. Once those rounds get through, it's a guaranteed 3 damage. Orc rockets are pretty deadly. This is shots from the trucks, and they've missed. And then a shot from a rocket here from a killer can. Going to try and take on one of these. Does get his hit. And 2 to wound. Yeah, it's -2. So cover obscurity here. But it's -2, so we're going to go to 5 up save. No, and it's 3 damage, so one of these destroyed. Mitch has got custom shooters here. They are in range against the Ruststalkers, so 5s. Now, how does this work? You advance, it would be 6s.
Yeah.
With the truck, yeah, okay, so we'll play it that way.
Everything's sitting on 6s because everything advanced.
Yep. There's 3. That should be freeze to wound. They're all wounded. 4 up saves or cover. 3 up saves. No, another model gone.
So,
and that's firepower finish. Not bad from the Orks, making an impact here against the knight and picking up 2 casualties here against the Ruststalkers as well. All right, so shooting finished. No assaults, no charges. A situation now because we were doing well. But a false sense of security for sure, because we're about to head into turn 5, and if the Ad Mech don't do something about trying to reach this objective, they will lose the game, would you believe? Orcs charging in, being destroyed, pulling back, and then surging ahead, and it could well pay off here. So the game's definitely back on, and tactically the Orcs are winning the game at this stage. So Ad Mech, Belisarius Cawl here. Cautiousness has preserved his army alive, but has it tactically now left the Ad Mech in a situation where they're going to have to try and salvage the game here? They could potentially lose. We'll go on to the 5th turn for them. They need to attack now. Can they do it? Can they attack against this Orc force closing in this area? Orcs will relish the opportunity if the Ad Mech get too close. We'll go on to the 5th turn now for the Adeptus Mechanicus. Right, so movement phase here for the Adeptus Mechanicus on their 5th turn, possibly the final turn of the game here. So dicing with death here, we could lose the game if we're not careful. Beginning the movement then with these have moved out, 6 inches moved by them, within 18 inches range to provide some fire support in this direction. The knight's moved up, about 10 inches moved by him, just to here. No, it was the full 12, he's moved ahead to here. Tech Priest Dominus moving up and making an advanced move, and he's going to repair actually and turn that 18 to a 20. He's going to restore 2 wounds on the knight. These moving through 8 inches, preparing to charge. Dune Crawlers here, 1, 2, and this one shifted to the right a little bit, just aware of Orcs possibly teleporting in with the Weird Boys special power, and then using the snipers, moving one of the models around just to make sure that both of these units are securing that objective. Then around the other side, an advanced move made by the infiltrators, so they'll not be able to charge this turn, but nicely in range to fire with their pistols in this direction against the killer can holding on to the objective. That's movement done. Ad Mech need to be sensible now. They've got ahead in this game, but the battle is not over yet. We'll go on to shooting phase next for them on turn 5. Alright, so on to shooting phase here. We'll start with a tactical error that's taken place. I advanced these out, getting ready to fire the pistols in this direction, but oh no, you can't do that with pistol weapons, they're not assault weapons, they're pistol, so they'll not be able to shoot. So threatening the objective, but that's all they can do, and not even allowed to charge. So infiltrators out in the open there, a blunder's been made on that flank. We'll see if we can make an impact though with shooting. We'll fire with some of these units now. Okay, so we'll start with the Imperial Knight. We'll go thermal cannon into here, melter gun and rocket pod into the one with 6 wounds remaining. So melter gun first of all, does get his hit, doesn't wound. We'll use a stratagem at this stage for reroll. We do get a 6. All right, so it's -4, 5 up invuln save though available. Mitch rolls a 1.
I'm going to use a command point.
Okay.
Nope.
No, okay. So, straight d6 damage. Roll a 4, so... Oh, ramshackle. Oh, come on, no. Alright, so just 1 wound drops down to 5. The amount of ramshackles here. So I have to say, Mitch, the construction of your vehicles is terrible. But it's actually helping you here. Not the modelling-wise, I'm not insulting him as a modeller. I mean, the actual clan themselves.
So cool.
Alright, the rocket pod I declared was going to go into the same target as well. So that gets 3 hits. It's hit every time here so far. And 2 wounds do come through. It's -2, so 2 saves of 6 to try and block these.
5 up invuln.
Oh, 5 up invuln, sorry, yeah. Nope. And then 2d6 damage. 4.
1 wound.
So ramshackle this one. On 6 again.
Nope.
No, so yeah, down
The
to...
other one?
Well, the other one's a 1 anyway, so...
Oh, right, yeah.
you're down
So
to 1 wound left. We'll fire the thermal cannon out, see if we can get a decent amount of shots. No 2. This is going after the other truck, this one here. 3's for hits. Just the 1 comes through. 3's for a wound. Yes. Goes to a 5 up invuln save, which Mitch passes. This is not going according to plan here. Ork trucks still remain alive, despite the firepower from the Imperial Knight. We'll go to the snipers now. We'll let them fire first. They can see some targets. One of them can see here, so 3+, gets his hit. 3's for a wound. Yes, it's -2. So what's your armor save for a killer can?
3 up base.
3 up.
5 up.
5 up. I think obscured. We'll give you obscured, so 4. No, and it's D3 damage. 3 wounds caused there by the sniper rifle. There's 2 more. It's the 2 distant ones. They can see through here at the can as well. So 3's to hit with them. And 3's for a wound. No. And the last one can see this truck here, which we do hit. We don't wound. All right, so that's the snipers finished. So a lot of the firepower's done. We're not going to fire these yet. It's down to dune crawlers next. So that's a lot of the firepower done. We're not going to fire these yet. We've got dune crawlers to fire next. So a bit of firepower from them. Belisarius Cawl is within 6 inches of all of those. They've been re-rolls with their shooting. So we'll start with this one here. And we'll go after this fresh truck. It's not been damaged yet. So here we go. Daedalus missile launcher. Does get his hit. Does get a wound. It's -3, so it goes straight through. We're on ramshackle. No, 5 up, sorry. 5 up invuln saving. That's a 2. So it's D6 damage. We do roll a 5. Surely not ramshackled. No. Okay, so 5 wounds. That's half killed it. Yeah, 5 wounds remain. We'll do Gatling rocket launchers next. It's good shooting here in 4s. And then 2. Strength 6. It's 4s.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, toughness 6, yeah. So 2 saves here. It's -2, so 2 saves of 5+, the invuln save. These are just 1 damage, 5+ to block.
Nope.
No, it's 2 more taken, 3 wounds left. See if autocannons can finish it off. This is good here against the lighter vehicle. Reroll these. 3's to wound. 1 comes through. This is 2 damage. It's not blocked, and on a 6+, you'll turn it to damage 1. No. Okay, so 1 wound left. So we've got 2 trucks here and 1 wound remaining for each of them. So we're going to fire this dune crawler here. Not much of a target for that. All it can see, because of the line of sight blocking terrain and the model here, we can see this killer can. It's going to try and finish that off. It's got a couple of wounds left. So we'll go for the autocannons. Just the 2. 3's to wound. Yeah, 2 wounds come through. It's -2. You're obscured, so you're on 4s. You block both. Then Daedalus rocket launcher. Does get a hit. Does get a wound. -3, so 5 up save. Oh, blocked again. Unbelievable. And then now Gatling rocket launcher here. It's good. Good dice roll for protecting these. 4s. This one's within range of Cawl just here. There's 2 wounds. -2, so 4 up save, including the cover. No, 2 wounds. I think he's gone 5 wounds. So a dreaded 6 here. Don't want to get a dreaded 6, otherwise it will mortal wound the truck. No, alright, so killer can gone. Alright, firepower. We'll go for this squad here. Going to fire 2 plasma shots into this one, 1 plasma shot into the other, and then all of the small arms fire the radium carbines into this closest one here. We're going to go up for the double strength, so any 1s here is trouble. This first guy gets his 2 hits. His friend next to him misses with 1. We'll resolve that damage now. This will be freeze to wound. 2 of them wound. 2 invuln saves here of 5+. Oh, makes 1, but it's enough. That's 2 damage on this one here. So see if it blows up.
Nope.
It does not. Truck destroyed. So vehicle destroyed here. Tank busters getting out the back. 3 of their number slain there as they clambered out of the destroyed vehicle. So continuing on, 2 shots from the other plasma caliber. Double 6. We'll do the wounds of this one now. 1 wound does come through. 5 up in 1 save. No, and that's that unit or that vehicle destroyed.
Does it blow up? Can I have a... Oh, sorry, I've got one. No.
No, okay, so we'll just do the disembarkation here. So helpful firepower coming in from the Vanguard there. Their plasma weaponry finishing off those 2 trucks. So that's removed them now. It's down to infantry and cans now in this area. So driving the Orks back away from the objective, but it means we've not got a target to charge here. And so Mitch will be able to move up and plant himself on the objective next turn. So still looking strong here for the Orks at this stage. What an incredible turnaround we're witnessing here. And the tactics seems to have paid off. Hold back, preserve strength, and then move in on the later turns. We've still got a Dune Crawler left to fire next. Okay, so fire this Dune Crawler here. It's got a clear line through to the tank busters we're going to go after. I think they're more of a threat. So Gatling rocket launcher here. Reroll. So a handy little pot here. 3's to wound. Just the 1 wound comes through. 5 up invuln save available. And no, so 1 brought down. And then autocannon shots. Reroll this one. Still missed. 3's to wound. They all wound. 3 saves here of 5+ invuln. Just going to do a feel no pain here. No.
We'll take off that instead.
Okay.
And then how many from the autocannon? 3 of them, yeah?
Yes, this is the autocannons. No. Nope. Alright, so it's 2 at a time. So the first one. No, he's needing double 6 here. Next one. No, almost. And no. Alright, so 3 more. Okay. 1 diedless left. Needing a 4. Gets his hit. Doesn't wound though on a 1. Alright, so shooting finished. Pretty good really from the Ad Mech. Blowing away the vehicles and causing trouble here, especially for the tank busters. Just 2 of them left. We'll let Mitch do morale. There's going to be no charges here in this turn. 2. The lost 8 becomes 10.
My leadership's 7 base, I think so, yeah, I'm down.
I think they melted.
I can do the D3 breaking heads.
Yeah.
6.
Oh, breaking heads, right. The war boss has killed them there for attempting to run. Alright, so tank buster's gone. So this is what's left now for the Orks. Fresh Mega Knobs unit, some distance away. There's the big mech, as well as the custom force field. He's alive, well equipped. There's a war boss here, a couple of killer cans, war boss over there. So some good amount of characters and some combat potential available from these units. We'll see where Mitch decides to go. The Ad Mech have no charges available, and that will mark the end of the turn for them. They've done the best that they can, but still in a position where the Orks could win if the game ends on turn 5. We'll go on to turn 5 now for the Orks. Mitch must continue the assault here and try and claim this objective and hold on to it for as many turns as possible, with the possibility of turn 5 being the last turn of the game. We'll go on to turn 5 now for the Orks. Right, so turn 5 for the Orks here, lining up their charges. This is how Orks are meant to be, getting ready to charge in here against these Ad Mech units. So Meganobs have moved and advanced and will be allowed to charge there with the war boss nearby, who's made an advance move himself. Banner just there. The Pain Boy just here. Then 2 killer cans getting ready to charge in as well against the infiltrators, and a war boss next to them also. And then the Weird Boys tucked in here with the Orc Boys. An interesting reserve here available to teleport across the table when Mitch needs them. So Orcs looking a lot stronger than they were. This is their moment here. They're on the objective. They'll win the game if the game ends, but I think Mitch wants to try and clear away some Ad Mech units if he can. So we'll go on to Psychic Phase next, first of all, for the Orcs on turn 5. Right, so Psychic Phase complete here, and the jump has gone off. Mitch jumping them across here. They're ending up on this left-hand flank, just over 9 inches away, getting ready to charge in against the infiltrators just there. So Psychic Phase finished. We've gone to shooting now. Orcs have some shooting available to them. Right, so custom shooters here, 12 shots. It's going to go after the Vanguard, going to try and soften them up. That is a troop's choice, so potentially an objective-grabbing unit. Canticles is Shroud Psalm for this round. Shroud Psalm here, so we're on 3+ to save. Yeah, we saved both. All right, so that's that done. There's killer cans with their rockets to fire. They're going after the Knight, are they? Or
I don't know.
Decisions to make here. Okay, he's going after the Knight. He's contemplating not to, just because it can be repaired, but he may as well just try and pick up some wounds against it. So 2 shots needing 4s. Yes, that is a 4 just there. And 4 for a wound down. All right. So that's the shooting done. He doesn't want to fire at other targets here. He wants to keep a decent charge range available. And if I take casualties, I'll start removing ones that are closer to his models. So Mitch's just going to hold his fire and try and do the damage in combat. So that shooting phase finished. We'll go on to assaults now. This is the critical point. A key assault across here, and then also going to try and take on the infiltrators as well. So assaults and Overwatch will resolve that next. All right, so charges have taken place, pretty much gone according to plan. No damage, there's no Overwatch available here, so the Meganobs made it in, and the War Boss has joined them as well in the fight. The Banner didn't make it into combat after reroll, and then Mitch happy to keep the Big Mech in Mega Armor just there on the objective. Then around the other side, the 2 killer cans have made it into combat here against the infiltrators. Mitch tried to charge here. A reroll for the charge, but still failed, not rolling high enough to reach into combat. So it's down to those killer cans now to try and do enough damage against the infiltrators just there. So Orc charges going ahead. We thought the game was long since over a few turns ago, but now there's a real fight here with the Orcs making a late surge in the game. And if they see this turn out, and the game ends, we reckon they will win. We'll go on to combat resolution next. Right, so Killer Can's fighting here, needing 5s. He's rolling both at the same time, just the 1. And it is a wound.
-3, flat 3 damage.
Right, 6 up invuln save. Nope, so you can remove one of the infiltrators.
That one?
Just there, yeah, gone. Alright, so
Hitting on
2s to hit here. This is the War Boss. 2s to hit because of the Banner, just within 6 inches. Gets his hits. And it'll be 2s to wound, yeah. Nasty. Unless you roll 3 1s. Okay. We do get invuln saves here of 6+, which we fail, and it was D3 at the time. So it's...
Should have rolled those
separately, yeah. So
that's 1.
It's a 3, it's a kill, and a kill. Okay, so it's 2 dead. Right, Meganobs next fighting. Should be able to get the wipe out here with the amount of damage that they can do. So you can do Kill Saw first if you...
3 base, aren't they? Right.
Yeah, before attacks with the Kill Saw and 3 attacks with the other guys. So Kill Saw here.
Again because of the Warbanner.
These will be 3s.
Oh, 3, sorry.
Yeah.
2s. So that's 3 hits.
And then 2s to wound.
2s. Yep.
It's all good here. Down to invuln saves again. No. So 3 gone. There's 1 left to kill, and you've got 9 attacks to do it.
1, 2, 3.
So 9 attacks coming in to try and finish the Princeps off. Should be able to do it. Needing 3s. Warbanner is very helpful for a bit of reliable attacks coming in. Nicely done. So we need 4 6s. No, so Princeps destroyed it. Alright, so wipeout here. Mitch electing not to consolidate, just going to hold position just there. He has secured the objective with the Knight looking onwards. Will the game continue is the question. Got to fight back here with the infiltrators, actually. We'll have a chance for them to strike back against the Killer Cans. Right, so fighting hit, needing 3s to hit. We'll go all of our attacks into this can here. The 6s are good. So those generate 3 hits each. So we'll take our misses. We'll add that to there, like so. That one's a miss, just there. So that's the regular hits, and then that's generating 3 hits each for all the 6s just there. We're actually on strength 6, so you toughness 5. Yeah, so 3s to wound. And then Mitch has to make those saves just there. 3+ though, pretty decent armour save. And he's passed all of them. Passed every single one. Okay, so well protected there. That's the end of... so I lost 1 here in combat. There's morale to do. It's an auto pass, so there's no problem about morale just there. That continues on. And then we've seen the wipeout take place over here. So it has gone very well for the Orks. And we've reached the end of the turn, and now the dreaded dice roll to see if the game continues. We'll let Mitch roll up here, can seal his own fate. I reckon he'll win if he rolls a 1 or a 2. Oh, he's rolled a 2 and has snatched victory like a rattle snatched from a baby here. He has snatched victory from the Adeptus Mechanicus. I've not seen anything like this happen in a long, long time. James is here in great disappointment. The Imperium have thrown away victory, literally thrown it away. Yeah, the Orks have prevailed here. Incredible. Excellent result for the Orks, and a great result here for the debut army for Mitch. I'm sure, I reckon a good number of people may have tuned out here after the first couple of turns, just with the hammer and anvil deployment. Orks reduced with the number of units they could bring on, foot slogging units trying to move up the table, then the deletion of those Ork boys. It was all going so well for Adeptus Mechanicus, and then a change of tactics resulted in turning the game around, and then a late attack at the end, wiping out the unit up here and securing this middle objective, has resulted in victory for the Orks. A shock victory here. One of the biggest shocks I've seen in a long, long time. All right, so yeah, checking the victory points here. Ad Mech score 3 here, and then Orks 3 here. 3 for this one, and then First Blood was picked up as well. So 7-3 the final score. Actual convincing win here for the Orks, would you believe? Ad Mech was still much of their army intact, but manoeuvred out of position here. They rested in confidence in their weapons and in their firepower. They let the Orks advance onto the objective, and then too little too late to try and shift them back off again. A tactical blunder here by Belisarius Cawl, but he's not the warlord. It's the tech priest Dominus just over here. Whilst he's busy repairing, he's not noticed that the Orks have gained control of the battlefield. Oh boy, we'll not live this one down for a while. Well done to Mitch. Thanks for coming down. It's great to see him back here on the channel, back by popular demand, and great to see a brand new Ork army as well. Not too many Ork players out there, but Mitch has put a list together. He's painted up the models, and for their debut here on the channel, they have achieved one of the biggest shock victories I think we've ever seen. Shocking result there. Great thing about 40k, you can get results like this occur at times. It was a change in tactics that won Mitch the game. He pulled back, not usually conventional for the Orks, but preserved their numbers very well, and then they advanced as one blob, which is how they're meant to play, then timing it just right onto the objective just here. We're talking about if the game had have continued. There is a virtually intact Imperial Knight here looming on the position. That could have waded in, firing its weapons and charging, may well have been able to clear the area. If these kind of units are removed, then the Orks, I think, would have been in trouble. Plus all of this supporting fire, loaded, guns levelled and ready to fire, but never got a chance to shoot. And then this unit here as well potentially could cause trouble as well. So the game ended at just the right point here for the Orks. Perfect timing for them, and they have achieved victory here. But credit where it's due, change in tactics has worked here for the Orks. Well done to Mitch, thanks for coming down, and keep a lookout for these Orks. They may well return again in the future. But great game, thanks for watching, and tune in next time. Okay, so units of the game. Difficult choice for the Orks especially. Mitch saying a lot of units just didn't particularly do too much really in the game. The Mega Knobs there at the end, but a lot of the units didn't really take part. So for the Ad Mech, I'm going to give it to the Dune Crawlers. It was good firepower from them. The number of it's 10 shots a time from those, and that was helpful against infantry targets, and also helpful against the light vehicles as well. So their firepower was pretty good this round, or this game, with the help of Belisarius Cawl as well. So I'm going to give it to them, and then for Mitch, we're going to give it. It's not happened before. We're going to give it to Ork trucks. Now I know there's just 2 craters there and 1 truck on its side, but without the trucks and the speed of their advance, the Mega Knobs would never have got to this centre point in the board. So we're going to give it to them. Without their help, the Orks would have been languishing back here. So trucks receive units, or the unit of the game for the Orks. That's units of the game for both sides.